This week on Healthy Living, we look at the health risk of heat waves as countries grapple with increased temperatures across the planet. Kenya-based medical expert Dr. Theophilus Wangata weighs in on the impact extreme heat has on the body and how to protect your health. Plus, how do you stay cool and hydrated during a heat wave? We'll have some reactions from the streets of Nigeria. Finally, efforts in Kenya are underway for better access to affordable, clean cooking. These stories and more in this edition of Healthy Living. Hello, I'm Linor Moudou. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Healthy Living. Unprecedented heat waves are gripping our planet. From Europe to North America, Asia to Australia, temperatures are soaring to record-breaking highs. This month, more than 1,300 people died during this year's Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia as people faced extreme high temperatures at Islamic holy sites, according to Saudi Health Ministry. A Maryland couple, originally from Sierra Leone, is among those who lost their lives due to heat stroke during the just concluded Hajj. The Global Temperature Trend Monitor reveals that while overall global temperatures have risen by nearly 2.3 degrees Fahrenheit above pre-industrial levels, climate change is fueling more extreme temperature peaks, making heat waves more common, more intense, and longer lasting.
North America is experiencing extreme temperatures in traditionally cooler places like Seattle, Washington, facing consecutive days of triple-digit numbers. In West Africa earlier this year, a lethal heat wave overwhelmed hospitals in parts of the region. At least 6 tourists have died in Greece in June during a period of unusually hot weather. Medical experts say extreme rise in temperatures can lead to several health issues, including heat exhaustion, heat stroke, dehydration, and sometimes death. The elderly, young children, and those with pre-existing health conditions are more at risk. As people sweat, they lose liquid to a point that can cause severe stress on kidneys. Dehydration can progress into shock, causing organs to shut down from lack of blood, oxygen, and nutrients, leading to seizures and death. Heat also affects the brain. It can cause a person to have confusion or trouble thinking. Doctors say the biggest killer in heat is the strain on the heart, especially for people who have cardiovascular disease.
Dr. Teofilus Wangata is a general physician and the managing director of Precise Healthcare and Hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. He elaborates on the hazards of extreme heat and offers tips on how to stay healthy during the heat wave.
A heat wave is an abnormally hot weather, and this is part of the challenges we are facing with global warming. And the risks associated with it is that it can cause severe dehydration, which can even lead to death. The people who are most vulnerable to heat-related illnesses are the vulnerable people in our societies, mostly the elderly, or rather the older adults, and children. And then people who expose themselves to the outside environment. They could be young, but if you're outside a good portion of the time during a heat wave, you would be most vulnerable. During a heat stroke, people experience different symptoms. Among the common and early symptoms are excessive thirst, having a headache that has no clear reason for the headache, nausea, sweating, and this is abnormally high sweating, and high body temperature as well. The most effective ways to stay hydrated during a heat wave revolve around drinking adequate fluids, or rather having a lot of fluid intake. And so you need to keep drinking cool water, every 15 or 20 minutes or so. Avoid alcohol intake because alcohol dehydrates the body further. Stay indoors by ensuring that you are in a cooler place because most of the heat waves affect people who are outside. And use something to cover yourself while you're out. And if you have to go outside, ensure you carry your water, cool water bottle with you so that you keep drinking water all the time. For mothers who are breastfeeding, during heat waves, they need to ensure that they have adequate hydration so that they can be able to still breastfeed their children. They need to consistently drink water, and there are also other liquids that you can take. Uh, Avoid sodas because they may not provide the adequate hydration needed. And in the event that the mother feels dizzy or has a headache, they should know that they are already dehydrated. They should drink a lot of water so that they have enough milk production for the child.
How do you stay hydrated during a heat wave, and what do you do to stay cool in case of a power outage? Here are some reactions from Abuja, Nigeria.
I do regular intake of water. I don't stay a day without, even a minute without taking water. It's just that it's unfortunate that we came to get something. If not, I have my bottled water with me. So I always go with my bottled water everywhere I go. And it must be chilled because of the sun.
Always get water in my rubber. I move around with it. So even though if I'm leaving the house, if I know that I might not be able to get water outside, I'm just going to leave the house with my plastic rubber. So that's why I love going with this recycled rubber. I fetch water.
By drinking constant water, at least 4 liters in a day.
When we talk about hydration, yeah, if you see me with a water bottle, or most times you see me with my own plastic water bottle, but because I know I was going out of the house, so I had to get here before getting my water.
Regular baths, especially this period of heat. So if not that I'm outside, I would have taken my bath like 5 to 10 times today. So I do regular baths every time. It's just for my body to be cool.
Of recent, I have been sticking with water a lot. I've been sticking with water. I do take a lot of carbonated drinks before, but of recent, I've started hydrating myself with more water.
At home, yeah, if I don't want to have to go into the bathroom to go and take my bath, I'd actually just step out, take a short walk, and get to such kind of places where we have trees, because trees are like a natural source of cold air and all. So most times that's what I do.
As you can see, I'm on my glasses because of the scorching sun. So I use glasses and sometimes I use my umbrella. So it helps me from the scorching sun.
For the cool part of it, when I'm at home, I usually just step out of my house or the office, then just stay in the shade, just somewhere cool around the environment or the corridor, just to take fresh air. So I prefer that one because sometimes I need to just get out of my room.
I usually use sunglasses when there's too much sun, or the umbrella if I need to step out. So yeah, I use that to keep myself away from the sun.
As the mercury keeps rising, people drink more cool water. But did you know that certain foods can cool you down? Here are a few of them. You may have heard of the saying, cool as a cucumber. According to nutrition experts, cucumbers are made up of 96% water. They can hydrate the body and bring down the body temperature. Snack them as a salad in your favorite recipe, or mix them with ginger and some lemon into a delicious, refreshing juice. Coconut water is filled with electrolytes which help to keep the body hydrated and cool. The power drink helps beat the heat during a hot season while keeping one hydrated and energetic throughout the day. Mango is a sweet and juicy fruit with several health benefits which can also reduce body heat. Green leafy vegetables like spinach, lettuce, and cabbage are high in nutrient value, calcium, and help cool the body. They can be added in smoothies, salads, or added as a side dish in a meal. Watermelons are juicy and full of nutrients that the body needs. Not only do they hydrate, but boost the body with power-packed nutrients like vitamin B, magnesium, potassium, and fiber. Traditional cooking fuels and technologies are among the major sources of household air pollution in sub-Saharan Africa, with severe health consequences for the population, according to the World Bank. Now, an initiative to promote climate-friendly cooking in the region is introducing stoves that use less charcoal and firewood to improve air quality. Juma Majanga reports from Nakuru, Kenya.
At a local market in Nakuru, a town in Kenya's Rift Valley region, Josephine Abongo is busy attending to customers at her cook stoves shop. Abongo produces and sells clay-molded energy-saving stoves that she says are a great improvement to the open-fire cooking technology used in most rural homes in Kenya.
So what we are
doing is to bring back the traditional technology, but in an improved way, in a digital way, so that it can be used even in urban homes. That way we will save trees, we will save the environment, and we will save our health. We will also save economically, because the economy is currently bad and people don't have money.
The project is being implemented by Practical Action, a development-focused non-governmental organization.
I think it's becoming a talk that we are moving the discussion towards ensuring that our local people transit from the traditional cooking solutions to the new cooking solutions that save their lives.
Health experts say cooking smoke is a major health risk, especially to rural populations in sub-Saharan Africa. Data from Kenya's Ministry of Health estimates that 21,500 premature deaths occur each year as a result of indoor air pollution triggered by cooking.
The use of firewood, as we know, when it burns, that smoke is direct. It's worse than even when you smoke because there is a filter. This is the primary use of the smoke, which has a lot of effect in the lungs.
Unlike traditional stoves, the improved devices are designed so the flame is aimed directly at the cooking pot to avoid wasting heat. They also have just one opening for charcoal and firewood instead of 3. And they are constructed with a thick liner made from a special type of clay for heat conservation. All these factors make the stoves up to 40% more efficient, reducing consumption of firewood and charcoal. Practical Action says around 200,000 improved cook stoves have been sold by more than 300 trained entrepreneurs like Abongo. Kagoto Danji Vocational Training Center is one institution that has adopted the cleaner cooking technology. Principal Malaki Manasseh says the move has cut costs for the institution.
We used to have a full-ton lorry of firewood a term, but the way I've implemented it, I've saved almost 80% of that, which is a plus for us.
Last year's International Energy Agency annual conference in Nairobi called for an acceleration of universal access to cleaner cooking through government incentives and subsidies. Practical Action's Team Mwangi says funding remains a major problem for African countries.
Well, we have very good policies, but in terms of funding, then it needs to match the good policies that we have in there.
Kenya aims to achieve 100% access to clean cooking by 2028 in line with UN Sustainable Development Goals. Joma Majanga, VOA News, Nakuru, Kenya.
That's our show for today. For more health news, wellness tips, and medical breakthroughs, stay connected to Voice of America at voaafrica.com. You can follow me on X at Linor Mudu. Until next time, stay well and strive to make every day a healthy day.